Hare Krishna. Welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam class, topics from Srimad Bhagavatam. Today, again, I'm outside my home, so doing this class from the car. But I thought it is better to do the class rather than to cancel it, at least for some time. Mainly because it gives me a chance to read Srimad Bhagavatam and also to share it with all of you. And with that sort of a intention that I get to share or I have to share this, I force myself to read. Though I have no taste in reading Srimad Bhagavatam, I'm forced to do that for, the purpose of the class. And that is my benefit that I get to read Srimad Bhagavatam. So today, again, will be a shorter class because I have to go by 6:45. So about 45 minutes or 40 minutes class, but we will see how far we can cover. So we are still on the pastime of Bali Maharaj and Vamana Dev. We will continue that discussion. But before we start, let us recite the Mangalacharan prayers, which are given in the introduction to the Bhagavad Gita. And then we will recite the invocation verses for Srimad Bhagavatam. So let us recite the Mangalacharan prayers. One second, what's going on here? Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deen Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for reciting. And now we shall recite the invocation verses for Srimad Bhagavatam. Please try to repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tatho Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati uttama shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Okay, very nice. Thank you. So, we will continue our pastime of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we had completed the 21st chapter. And in the ending of 21st chapter, Trivikrama, or the Lord Vamana Deva, his universal form is known as Trivikrama, and one who has conquered the three worlds. And he has, at that point, by the ending of chapter 21, he has conquered the upper and lower, the whole planetary systems, upper and lower planetary systems. And then he is asking Bali Maharaj, where should I keep my third foot? So that is where we ended. And one second. Yes. So he is saying that you could not fulfill your promise. You said you will give me 3 pieces of land or 3 steps of land. You could not, you claim to be the king of the whole universe. You do not even have 3 steps of land to give. So that is our position. We can claim ourselves to be all this big, president, vice president, this, that, engineer, doctor, all these big things, living in America, living in here and there, and big houses. That is our position. We cannot even afford simple things that the Lord wants, because we have treated Lord's property as ours. So then we become bereft. So we also saw that Bali Maharaj gets arrested. And today I cannot screen share because I'm from the phone, but Bali Maharaj becomes arrested. There was that very nice photo where Vamana Deva was sitting. Yes. And Bali Maharaj was standing with his head down and arrested. But Bali Maharaj was completely fixed. His mind was not agitated. He was a sthita pragya. He was completely composed and calm. So then we start with chapter 22. And in chapter 22, then Bali Maharaj begins to say that, basically he says that, please place your foot on my head. Your third step will be on my head. And he calls Vamana Dev as uttama shloka. If you see, we recite this, right? Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shlokir bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. So this Bhagavatam is uttama shloka, and Bhagavatam is no different from Lord Krishna. So uttama shloka is another name for the Lord himself. So uttama shloka means all auspicious, the topmost personality. And Vamana Dev, or Bali Maharaj calls Vamana Dev uttama shloka. And Sri Vishvanatha Chakravarthy Thakur, he is just an amazing acharya. His purports are just so beautiful. There is like X amount of rasa in reading Bhagavatam. There is 2 times the rasa in reading his purports. And of course, Srila Prabhupada has derived a lot from his purports. So combined the purports of Srila Prabhupada and Vishwanath Chakravarthy Thakur, it's just triple the amount of rasa. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarthy Thakur writes that you think you have cheated me, right? That Bali Maharaj says that to Vamana Dev, you think you have cheated me. You said I used 3 steps of land, and in 2 steps you took the whole universe. So it's like cheating. I thought land 3 steps means 3 actual steps, not the whole universe. So you think you have cheated me, now I am going to cheat you. Okay? I am going to cheat you by having you give me, you took away everything from me, right? I am going to get from you what is the most difficult to get. Okay, and what is that? The shelter of your feet. So I am going to get from you the shelter of your feet, which is so hard to get by anyone. So you think you are the cheater? I am bigger cheater. So he says that, and actually you think you have cheated me. Another point. Actually, you have cheated the devatas. You think you cheated me, took away all this universe, and you will give it to the devatas. Of course, it is their rightful, caretaker. They are the proper caretakers. They are still not the owners. The owner of the property is Lord Krishna or Vamana Deva. But the caretakers are devatas. But still, he says, you think you will take the swarga and give it to the devatas. What will that do to them? That will increase their pride. It is mainly the dharma, artha, kama that will be fulfilled. But bhakti will be fulfilled for me because I am going to get the lotus feet, the shelter of your lotus feet. So they will get their dharma, artha, kama. They will get whatever is rightfully theirs, dharma, and they will get kama. They will enjoy the spiritual, the Svargaloka. So they will enjoy all that. But what I am going to enjoy is your devotion. So you think you have cheated me? I am the bigger cheater. And devatas are the losers. So they won't get the shelter of your lotus feet. So I am the real winner here. So this is how Sri Vishvanatha Chakravarthy Thakur describes. That's why he calls the Lord uttama shloka, because he's saying that you are such a magnanimous person. You can give me what I really want. You think I can give you anything? You are going to be the giver and I'm going to be the receiver. So he says that, please place your lotus foot on my head. And he says that my head is a valid place because you have lost both the universes. The upper and lower planets on the universe, of this universe, I have lost everything. But according to Shastric principles, the owner of the wealth is higher or is more wealthy or is considered higher than the wealth itself. The owner is more important than the wealth. So the wealth may have been gone. The property has been destroyed, has been taken away. Myself is still available, which is much bigger. Therefore, the third step is the most important. So Bali Maharaj says that, please place your foot on my head. And then he says that I do not fear living in hellish life, being arrested or anything, as much as I fear defamation. Defamation of what? Of pleasing the Supreme Lord. The Lord asked devotee for something. It is the devotee's duty to please the Lord. The Lord never usually asks. Only the people keep asking, Bhagwan, ye de do, wo de do, give me this, give me this, give me this. This is one time the Lord has asked something from the devotee, that please give me 3 steps of land. How can I not fulfill your wish? As a devotee, I have to please you. So I have to find a way to give you the 3rd step. And therefore, please put your 3rd step on my head. And then he says that, even though the world may think this is a punishment, that all my property has been taken and I have been arrested, but this punishment given by you is the most blissful. I'm so happy to receive this punishment, because punishment for spiritual benefit is very, very desirable. So Srila Vishvanatha Chakravarthy Thakur is writing that this is the job of the Guru. Sometimes the Guru has to give some chastisement, some punishment, but the disciple must take it very happily, because it is for their spiritual advancement. Ultimate advancement is happening is theirs. They are the beneficiary. And this is also a sort of a little rebuke on Shukracharya. The advice he gave was not for the spiritual benefit. It was for the material benefit of Bali Maharaj as well as Shukracharya, both. So he had a vested interest, conflict of interest. But what Bali Maharaj, what Vamana Deva is doing is for the absolute spiritual benefit of Bali Maharaj. So he's so happy to receive that punishment. And he says that you are indirectly the well-wisher of the demons. Why? Because you ultimately wish to, as our enemy, you remove our sinful propensities. We have these sinful propensities to capture other people's property. By defeating us, by showing us at our right place, you are actually our indirect beneficiary. And you put us on the right path all the time by defeating us. So, he says that, you are many demons were very inimical to you. And they finally, many demons who were continuously inimical towards you finally achieved the perfection because they were killed by you. So there were many demons who were very inimical to you, but because you killed them, they achieved perfection. And even though you have punished me, I don't feel ashamed at all. I don't feel ashamed in being arrested at all. So, devotees like Bali Maharaj never see any problem when they receive or when they get any kind of material misery or apparent material misery. First of all, they are not even they don't even consider material misery as misery. But even if there is material misery, they consider it as a blessing of the Lord to purify them of their sinful propensities. That there are sinful propensities which the Lord is removing by giving these miseries, so that I can realize that material world is temporary and my real focus should be in spiritual activities. One second. Okay. Okay, very good. Thank you. So, and he gives the example of his grandfather, Prahlad Maharaj. He says that Prahlad Maharaj was one such person. He received a lot of material misery. He was attempted, his assassination was attempted not once, not twice, many times, not by some enemy, but by his own father. His father tried to kill Prahlad Maharaj so many times in so many ways. That was a great misery. And he tolerated all those miseries in a very surrendered manner. So this is the lineage that I am coming from. And Prahlad Maharaj is a great example of somebody who tolerated all the miseries for his own purification. And then he goes on to say, so these are very important verses where Bali Maharaj is speaking with Vamana Dev, but in turn he is teaching all of us as to how devotees think. Shukadev Goswami is describing to us how Bali Maharaj was thinking and to inspire us how devotees should think in the situation of misery. And he goes on to say that end of the day, what happens? This material body leaves us. Okay, the material body is sure to be taken away from us one day or the other. So what is the use of this material body which will automatically leave the owner without any attachment? It just leaves the owner, which is the soul. The material we care, the soul thinks this material body is mine and has so much attachment, but the body just walks out one day. The body has no attachment with the soul. It dies. And same way, when the body dies, everything else goes with it. Our family, our children, wife, husband, home, country, community, friends, everything goes away. And many cases, these other things go away even before death. If one is very lucky, these things stay till death. Family, children, wife, husband, home, love by the countrymen, by the community. But in many cases, they even go away before death. And they definitely all go away at death. So what is the use of all these things? There was nothing that my grandfather Prahlad Maharaj was afraid of. Nothing. Except he was afraid of the common people of the world, whose association could make him into a demon. The blood in his veins is demoniac, he says. And therefore, he was always afraid that by association of demoniac people, I could again become truly demoniac. So he was not afraid of anything else but the association of the common materialistic people in this world. And that is why he took the complete shelter of your lotus feet, which is what I am requesting to get, the shelter of your lotus feet. He took the shelter of your lotus feet. And the most important or the most dangerous common man of this world, who he was afraid of, was who? Which common man was he afraid of?
Desire
No,
for material
a
things.
physical man. Which physical person in whose association he could easily have become a common man?
Hiranyakashipu.
Yes. He calls Hiranyakashipu a common man. And he was a common man who was trying to make Prahlad Maharaj a common man. If you read the 7th canto, Hiranyakashipu tries so much that his son Prahlad becomes interested in material things, wine and women, as we say. And Prahlad Maharaj refused. And Hiranyakashipu was the owner of the whole universe. So if he wanted, he could have easily got the inheritance of his father and become yet another common man. The owner of the universe is being called a common man. So that is what Prahlad Maharaj gave up, and he received something far, far, far more valuable. So he says people in general don't understand that how temporary this life is. And you have saved me from this disease, the disease of pride, the disease of opulence. So I have been saved from this great destruction, just like Prahlad Maharaj was saved from the destruction. So then Prahlad Maharaj arrives at that scene, at the scene of the conversation. And Prahlad Maharaj takes the side of Vamana Deva. He says, Vamana Deva, you have done the right thing. So what does he say? So Prahlad Maharaj, first of all, there's one verse describing his appearance, how he's looking very bright. When he arrived, the whole area got very bright. And he was all the devotees who were accompanying Vamana Deva, they became very happy and very pleased to see the effulgent and very beautiful features of Prahlad Maharaj, because he was a great devotee. 1 second. Okay. So, and Bali Maharaj, because he was arrested or he was bound by the ropes of Varun Dev, he could not offer obeisances to Prahlad Maharaj. So he offered mental obeisances from his mind. And Prahlad Maharaj was so happy on seeing his grandson. And Prahlad Maharaj, the first thing that he did was to pay his gratitude, his homage, his dandavat pranam, obeisances to Vamana Deva. And then after getting up, Prahlad Maharaj says that it is you who gave Bali Maharaj, or Bali, my grandson, the ownership of the 3 worlds. The ownership of the three worlds was received by you. And today you have taken it away. So one of the things to learn from this, from Prahlad Maharaj, is that whatever good things we get are also from Lord. We usually forget that. Whatever bad things happen to us, we attribute it to God. Why is this happening? But we must remember that all the good things also are given by the Lord, and we are simply the caretakers of his property. So he's saying, yes, everything that was given to him was by you, and now you have taken it away. So you have equally acted. You have acted equally in both ways. There is no problem. And with your current action, you have cured his disease of pride due to opulence. You have done him a great favor. Now, very, very important text number 17 of chapter 22, Canto 8, number 17. It says, material opulence is so bewildering that it makes even a learned and self-controlled man to forget to search for the goal, the ultimate goal of human life, which is self-realization. This is such an important verse, that material opulence by definition blinds a person from his real goal. And therefore, it is very, very difficult to make spiritual progress when one is blinded by material opulence. In fact, there is a verse in the Bhagavad Gita 2.44, which is very, very important. Are you saying something?
Prasaktanam tayapahriya chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadau na vidiyate.
Very nice. And the translation?
In
the minds
of those who are too much
attached to sense enjoyment, and material opulences, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Lord,
Supreme Lord, doesn't take place.
Excellent, Mataji and Parnika. Jai, very nice. Just in case if you're wondering, they are the Bhakti Shastri students. So this is a verse to be memorized and repeated, and a test is coming up soon. So all of the Bhakti Shastri students have this verse right at the top of their minds right now. So this is 2.44. Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya prita chetasam vivasayatmika buddhi samadho na vidhiyate. That those who are bhogaishwarya prasaktanam, too much attached, prasaktanam, too much attached to bhoga aishwarya, to enjoying opulence, samadho na vidhiyate, the desire for pursuing the goal of self-realization, na vidhiyate, does not happen. So one must, so we will see here, there is an examples that are given that Aishwarya is not the problem. In this Bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktanam, what is the problem? Anybody? Aishwarya is the problem? No. Which word is the problematic word?
Bhog.
Bhoga. Very nice.
Bhoga.
Enjoying.
Too much attachment.
Bhoga. ये सब मेरे लिए है. मैं खाऊंगा सब. Bhoga. It's all for me, for my enjoyment. That is the problem. Aishwarya is not the problem. Bhoga Aishwarya is the problem. Bhoga is the problem. So Prahlad Maharaj says that. And then he says that basically he endorses the punishment or what given by by Vamana Deva. And then at that time also another person comes, Vindhyavali, who is the wife of Bali Maharaj. Even she says, so she comes and pays her obeisances to Vamana Deva, and she says that foolish people, they claim the Lord's property as their own for their own sense gratification. Like a, banker of a rich person. A rich person has a lot of money and some bank is managing his money, right? He puts his money in the bank. The banker may start thinking, this is my money. And he may think that he can give it to someone. Oh, you take this, you take this. He can start distributing that property of the rich man to somebody else. That is wrong. So everything belongs to the Lord. We are simply caretakers. Just like a banker is supposed to take care of your money, not try to treat it as his own and start distributing. You can take this, you can take this. So Bali Maharaj thought he owns the whole world and he can give 3 steps of land. Okay, you can have 3 steps as if it is his. So Vindhyavali says that foolish and unintelligent men claim proprietorship over the Lord's property. And they think they can give charity as if they have something to give. So they are completely foolish and shameless. So what you have done is the right thing. You have reclaimed your property and therefore you have done the right thing. So these 2 personalities, his relatives, very close relatives, Prahlad Maharaj, who he is very attached to, has taken the side of Vamana Deva. And his own wife, Vindhyavali, has also taken the side of Vamana Deva. Now one person comes to, now, of course, Bali Maharaj is not affected by that. He is also having the same consciousness, but one person comes to his rescue, and that person is Lord Brahmaji. Brahmaji comes to the wonderful rescue of Bali Maharaj. So, very nice verses. Brahmaji is speaking to Vamana Deva. He's saying, okay, Lord Vamana Deva, now this person has been sufficiently punished. So please, everything has been taken away from him. Now you can release him. He does not deserve to be punished anymore. So Bali Maharaj has offered everything to you. And that too, he has offered it without hesitation, without duplicity. There is no duplicity. Last week, we had talked about this Arjavam. His heart is very transparent and very straightforward. He has not played any games. He has not done any manipulation, any duplicity. So, by offering even a leaf, this verse is there, number 23 in the 22nd chapter, by offering just a leaf of grass, not even tulsi leaf, just a leaf of grass or a flower or a drop of water, simply a drop of water, but without duplicity, which means with bhakti. Okay? If one even offers that, you give him the spiritual world to that person who offers a drop of water. He has given you the whole 3 worlds. Okay? And that too completely without any duplicity, without any hesitation. So he does not deserve to be arrested. Okay? He actually deserves to be in the spiritual world because he has given everything he has. So which verse of Bhagavad Gita are you reminded of from this?
9 chapter? 9 chapter 23?
26.
9.26. Very good. Which verse is it? You know?
Oh.
How it goes?
Patram pushpam.
Pushpam phalam toyam.
Yes. Yome bhaktya
Bhaktya
prayachati. Yes. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Yome bhaktya prayachati. Tad aham bhakti upaharatam ashnami priyatatmana. Ashnami means I accept it or I eat it. So all these things, I will eat it as long as it is given with bhakti upaharta, with full of bhakti. If it is given, then I accept it, Lord says in Bhagavad Gita. So here the same thing, Lord is Brahmaji is saying, if somebody offers you just this much, you accept it. So, definitely Bali Maharaj is entitled to the same benefit. So
रात क्या बनाएंगे बाबा?
somebody needs to mute. Let me see. Phone. Okay, fine. Got muted. Okay, sorry. Then Brahmaji says that by opulence, a person becomes dull-witted and mad. He has no respect for anyone else. He treats himself to be the greatest. This is the problem of opulence. You have get lot of superiority complex, as if it is yours. And if you want to show your mercy to such a person, the first thing you do is to take that opulence away, so that the opulence cannot be used by that person as bhoga. Opulence means Aishwarya. Brahmaji says in text 25, another very, very important verse, that the souls, the living entities, are wandering in this universe in various yonis, in various species. They keep taking life after life after life after life because of their past activities. Only by some great fortune, they become a human being. Purusha Janma. This human birth is very, very rare. And one must make the proper use of this human life. And if someone is born in a human life, Brahmaji says, if he has some opulence, like a lot of property, wealth, richness, beauty, education, intelligence, all these things, and yet if he is not proud of those, there is only one reason for it. He is talking about the severity of material opulence. So in human life, if somebody has material opulence, but is not affected by it, is not proud of it, there is only one reason for it. That reason is your mercy. He has got your special favor. Otherwise, the purpose of material opulence is to make someone proud. So this human birth is very, very rare. And Brahmaji is saying that one should not get carried away by the opulence, by the pride and the bhoga, the propensity to just enjoy this material world that comes with it. So, but when somebody receives your mercy, then this aristocratic birth, this great opulence that one receives, is not an impediment at all. And he gives example of Dhruva Maharaj. He got great opulence after seeing the Lord. Even the Pandavas, after the war, they had great opulence. They were not moved. They remained fixed devotees. So like this, Brahmaji is saying that, the Lord has started saying that by giving up all the material opulence, Bali Maharaj has become a great, great devotee. And he has become completely fixed in devotional service. And he has shown the qualities of devotion, truthfulness, tolerance, all these things. And therefore, I am going to award him to reside in the planet Sutala, which is one of the lower planets, but he is saying that it is better than Swargaloka. He thinks he has lost Swargaloka to Indra, because I'm going to give Swargaloka to Indra. Sutala Loka is even more opulent than Swargaloka, because Bali Maharaj has given up all the propensity to enjoy. That propensity from the heart has gone, then as much Aishwarya, as much opulence is no problem. So, and Vishwanath Chakravarthy Thakur describes that how Sutala, being a lower planet, is more opulent. He says, Vishwanath Chakravarthy Thakur describes that by saying this, by the will of the Lord made, right at that instant, the Lord made Sutala planet more opulent than any other place in this material world. And he has given Bali Maharaj a great benefit by residing in great opulence, but with no propensity to enjoy that for his own sense gratification. And then he says, Vamana Dev says that in the 8th Manvantara, Bali Maharaj will become the Indra. That Manvantara is going to be, the Manu is going to be Shavarni. Current Manu is Vaivashvata Manu. The next Manu will be Shavarni. And in his lifetime, the Manu, Bali Maharaj will be the Indra. So, till then, Bali Maharaj will reside in the Sutala planet, and that Sutala planet will be protected by me. It will be protected by me in many, many ways. First of all, I will be the doorkeeper, and I will stay awake all the time, protecting Bali Maharaj. From whom? From bad association. Bad association of the other demons, because the demons are staying there. And he will stay in the company of my devotees, like Prahlad Maharaj. And I will personally be there to protect him. And he says that if any demons come there to disturb him, I will kill them with my Sudarshan Chakra. And then here, another beautiful thing Srila Vishvanatha Chakravarthy Thakur describes is that when he says, I will kill the demons, Vishwanath Chakravarthy Thakur describes that he will kill the demoniac propensities within the demons and make the demons into devotees. So the Lord will never kill the demons who are associate of a pure devotee like Bali Maharaj, but he will kill the demoniac propensity. So therefore, if we are associates of a pure devotee, our demoniac propensities are also killed by the mercy of the Lord. The Lord not only has mercy on the devotees, but all the friends and relatives of that pure devotee. Remember what Lord said in the pastime of Ambarish Maharaj, that not only are the bhaktas dear to me, but the bhaktas bhakta are also dear to me. So the friends and relatives of a pure devotee are also dear, and I will make them into devotees as well, even if they are demoniac. So the Lord says, I will always be there to protect you, and you will always be able to see me there. What a great boon. All the benefits. You are living in an opulent place. The Lord is personally protecting you. He is making your friends and relatives into devotees, and you can always see the Lord. What else is needed? What else is needed? If you think about it, there is absolutely nothing else that is needed. So he says, now you go to the Sutala planet, and all your materialistic anxieties and everything that have arisen have all been destroyed, and you go and live peacefully in the Sutala planet, and like this, in association of devotees, in my association, and you continue your bhajan over there. And then in the next Manvantara, you can become Indra. So one more chapter to go, which we will cover next week, and we will complete this pastime of Bali Maharaj and Vamana Dev, that is chapter 23. And in this chapter, we will see Bali Maharaj's prayers back to Lord Vamana Dev, how nicely he thanks to Vamana Dev and pays his gratitude and leaves for Sutala planet. And then Bali Maharaj has a little conversation with Shukracharya. हाँ भाई आपका क्या होगा? What about you? You were giving all this bad advice to my great devotee. So please don't do that next time. It's a little bit chastisement for Shukracharya also. Shukracharya will say, accept his mistake. And we will see those pastimes being covered, and Prahlad Maharaj will also be offering his prayers to Bali Vāmanadeva Dev. So all this will happen. We will cover this in the next class. So we will end it here today, and there is wonderful for the Portland devotees and everywhere. They have the news, or the announcement has been sent. The class has started by Romapad Maharaj. He is here visiting Portland. I'm going to attend that class now. So please join if possible and take benefit of more saintly association of a pure devotee, as well as hear Hari Katha. So I will take your leave at this point. Any questions, anything? Anybody wants to quick things, anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes,
Hare
Shivani
Krishna.
or Madhav? Yes.
Prabhuji, I had one question. Yesterday during this class of His Holiness Romapad Maharaj, I asked him one question about the different stages, like how do we
Yes.
identify, and he asked me that I should read Madhyura Kadambini. But still now I have not finished all the books of Srila Prabhupada, and it is said that unless you finish all the books of Srila Prabhupada, you shouldn't read any other books. So what do I do with this?
Then finish reading all the books quickly. And Prabhupada has given the essence in his books. So it's not like he has left out Madhyura Kadambini from his books.
Yeah.
And Nectar of Devotion is a great summary and contains all the main topics of Madhyura Kadambini. So please try to read Nectar of Devotion as well.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, let me
Hare
quickly
Krishna,
see
Prabhuji.
on the
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.